The information shared is for educational purposes only. Before taking any action, please seek the advice of a financial or tax professional.
Hi there, my name is Ron Yaish, and I'm with Special Needs Life Planning.com. Here we are on the Louisiana website here. We're doing what we call a walkthrough so that those individuals that are debating or thinking about getting a 529A ABLE account for individuals with special needs can take this opportunity, check out the website, and they get a better sense of what is there, offer them some kind of familiar experience when they go back or they choose to look at this program or other programs. Wow, the flashing pictures here happen to be very distracting. They're beautiful, with beautiful individuals, but happens to be very distracting. So sorry for that. Okay, so here we are on the website. Go through some general things. We're not going to go through what ABLE accounts are all about in detail. For that, you could look at the link below where we have a opportunity for you to take a webinar, our free webinar called ABLE Accounts 101. Check that out. We go through what ABLE is and how it works. And so during this experience, what we're going to do is we're going to just do kind of like a cursory, kind of like a general overview. We're going to bounce around through the website, click things, try things. It's my first time on the website. What we do at Special Needs Life Planning, our goal is to get out there and to educate and to experience things. We don't know everything about the life planning process, but we want to be a resource. So we want to chip away at things that people don't know about yet and educate those and keep you up to date. So if you do have any questions, if there are things that do come up and you would like to share with us, please do so at info@specialneedslifeplanning.com. Again, info, I-N-F-O, @specialneedslifeplanning.com. Okay, let's jump right in. But before we do, one last thing that I always try to do before we start one of these is before taking any action, please get some professional guidance. Some people reach out to financial advisors, others reach out to their tax professional. Whatever it is that you choose to do to figure out if this is a good idea, how to make it work for you, for the individual with special needs, that is something that we highly recommend. Okay, so here we are on the Louisiana's Achieving a Better Life Experience. That's what ABLE stands for. I like these pictures. They're beautiful, flashing across the screen. If I'm distracted, I'm sure you're distracted as well. So let's keep going. Okay, so here they like to welcome you, and they give you an easy button to enroll, and then they give you about the LA ABLE, the eligibility, questions, expenses, deposits, and resources. We're not necessarily going to go into everything, again, because we don't. Our goal here is not to educate individuals on ABLE, but on this platform. So we're going to click About ABLE because that may give us some information specifically about the Louisiana program. So we know that in 2018, you may set aside you may contribute $15,000 into an ABLE account. I'll say that in a more clear fashion. The maximum allowed contribution into the ABLE account for the year of 2018 is $15,000. There is something fairly new that was passed as of December 22nd, 2017, that allows an individual with special needs that is eligible for this account to potentially put in another $12,060 in addition to the $15,000 that he or she or family members or friends of family contributed, which is that $15,000. So you may be able to contribute theoretically $27,000 $60. Even though that is currently allowed, I haven't found any of the states actually implementing that change. We'll try to keep you abreast of that situation should that change. Now, one of the things that I like that LA Able is addressing right away is, regardless what this plan with this account or maybe potentially other Able accounts allow you to do in the balance, right? Some plans have $400,000 balances or $300,000 balances. That means that you're allowed to put the money in there, allow it to save up and grow by $15,000 a year. And should it get to $200,000, that's wonderful. But they're letting you know that be careful, because if you do receive government benefits, such as SSI benefits, the minute you cross the $100,000 line, those benefits may be suspended. Now that does not impact the Medicaid. That impacts SSI. So just wanted you to, Medicare. That impacts the SSI income. Okay, so now they're also letting you know about the qualified disability expenses. You can go to our website if you want a nice resource. We'll also have the link down below. You can go to specialneedslifeplanning.com/QDE for qualified disability expense. That essentially allows you, that gives you a guide to reporting, sheds a little more clarity as to what type of expenses you're allowed to use the money from the Able account on. Can you send a friend of yours on a cruise? The answer is no. Can you go on a cruise yourself? Yeah, right? If you are the individual with special needs, and that money is supposed to go to benefit you, the individual, or your child, or your friend with disabilities, or your or somebody that you're looking after, if you're managing care. So, for example, in education, if it meant getting some training, right? Hiring a job coach. These are things that are benefiting and improving the quality of life of the individual with special needs. So that would, in fact, be appropriate. So feel free to check out our report. And regardless, we haven't posted it yet because we haven't put it together, but we hope by the time this gets published to have a sample expense record sheet down below. I think we're going to either do it in PDF or in Excel. I'm not sure how we're actually going to disseminate that, but you can take advantage of that as well. And the reason why we're mentioning that now is that there isn't any agency or anybody looking after what these expenses are, or excuse me, I'll say better, how these expenses are being paid out, right? So there's no one double checking to make sure that the funds are being spent appropriately. Doesn't mean it's not going to change, but as of now, which is the beginning of 2018, that is not the case. For best practice, good idea to keep a record of what the date was, the amount that was spent, who this was sent to, and what the purpose of this expense was. These are the four things that in best practice, there may be more, but best practice, you should at least keep a record of what this money is being spent on. Okay. And this is important. This note here is important. This is going to be a challenge for some people. Money that is withdrawn for housing expenses and not used immediately may affect SSI benefits. It is important that you withdraw funds for housing expenses as close to the date that the payment is due as possible. This is why you have to really reach out to a professional, because if you take the funds out and you don't make the payment directly to the agency or the rental unit group or whatever the institution is, and you deposit it into an account that the individual with special needs owns, and that time lapses by a month or so, you got to be very careful. So I would say try to keep it to about 7 days to 10 days, but try not to cross over into a month because that could also complicate something. So try to do something maybe from the 7th to the 14th of the month, but you have to also look at the schedule of when things are due. So the reason why this this FYI is here is because if you have, let's say, $2,000 in your bank account and you just took out $800 because you want to pay rent, and you put that in your account and that time crosses over the amount that you're not allowed to have, assets over $2,000, all of a sudden, your SSI benefits are going to be compromised. So that's something you have to be careful about. Again, reach out to a case manager, reach out to somebody who is more familiar with your particular case. I don't believe that Louisiana, nor would we, make a recommendation regarding your personal case, right? We would do that on our end for clients of ours that we work with, right? We have a division, one of the affiliated, I myself run a wealth management firm, a financial planning wealth management firm, and we have a number of our clients are individuals with special needs, which is where this whole special needs life planning really came about from, to provide a service to individuals that were asking the same questions over and over, and we wanted to make sure that others can benefit from that as well. So that's something we would recommend to our own personal clients, but if you reach out to us randomly, or you reach out to the state of Louisiana, excuse me, they would feel comfortable answering a question about their plan, right? Where do I send the check to? They'll answer that question. The disability, became part of this individual's life after the age of 26. Is the person eligible? They'll tell you yes or no about the plan. They won't necessarily tell you, in my situation, I have this. Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? It's inappropriate for them to do that. So that's why you need to seek the guidance of a professional. Okay, let's go back. All right, so that was about ABLE. We're not going to look, actually we are going to look at, okay. And the reason why we're going to do this is because at the time, which is the beginning of 2018, Louisiana ABLE accounts are available to eligible U.S. citizens and legal residents of the state of Louisiana with valid Social Security, with a valid Social Security number. Who? Oh, interesting. Okay, Louisiana ABLE accounts are available to eligible U.S. citizens and legal residents of the state of Louisiana. Does that mean you have to be both a U.S. citizen and a resident of Louisiana? What if I'm a U.S. citizen and I'm not a resident of Louisiana? So we have to look at that. We have to check that out further. Okay. And then they give you, all the other eligibility requirements. I was really looking because I wasn't sure what Louisiana does. We'll look that up in a little bit. Okay. So we're going to actually jump out of eligibility because that's not what we wanted to focus on. Let's look at expenses. We briefly mentioned that. Okay, these are the type of expenses we hope to have. Please check out our report down below or at specialneedslifeplanning.com/QDE, which stands for Qualified Disability Expenses. Okay. And deposits. Let's go to deposits while I take another sip. State Treasurer has selected the following investment options. Again, I'm not here to say if one is good or one is bad, but these are the options. Okay, they're using Vanguard. And let's go to the questions. Okay, what is ABLE? What is the purpose of ABLE? Who administers their plan? Okay, so something called LATA, the Louisiana Tuition Trust Authority, is responsible because we know that each state is responsible for the administration of their own ABLE program. Many states allow out-of-state residents to participate. Some even have a separate plan for out-of-state residents, and that is a service. Okay, we did that. 15,000. We can establish. Just double check this. Whoa. Okay. What documentation is required? It's part of what we deal with separately. What is the program enrollment period? Is there an application fee? Ooh, let's see this. What does Louisiana do? No, there is no application fee. No application fee will be charged to those applying for an ABLE account on behalf of an account owner. Okay, so there could only be one ABLE account, right? Let's just clarify this because it's something that comes up a lot. There's something else that we know, which is known as a 529 college savings account. Now it's 529 education savings account. Johnny, okay, has 4 grandparents, right? He has a grandpa, he has a grandma, grandpa. Each one of these grandparents can have a separate ABLE account for Johnny. So how many ABLE accounts are benefiting Johnny when it comes to education, when it comes to college? The answer is 4. Johnny's sibling, right? Johnny's sister, right? Her name is Samantha. Samantha has special needs. She's an individual with special needs. And the family opens an ABLE account for her. Samantha is the owner of that ABLE account. Each grandparent may not open an account for Sam, right? You can't have 4 accounts. You can only have 1 account. So when it comes to college savings accounts, you could have a gazillion of them. You have 10 grandchildren, you could have 10 different accounts, and that's fine. There could be 20 different accounts. Well, I don't know, let's not go crazy, but there could be more than 1 account that goes to benefit an individual. When it comes to ABLE, there could only be 1 account. There could be many people contributing, but only 1 account. That has to be very crystal clear. This is something that is going to cause a red flag and potentially cause somebody a major issue if they try to open up a second one, or if they do by mistake. That could really be a problem. Okay, is there an initial deposit required? No. So there's no application fee in Louisiana, and there's no initial deposit required. However, they say a deposit of $10 must be made within 180 days of the date on the letter of notification of approval of the account. So if you were approved January 1st, right, assuming every month had 30 days, right? So January 1st, so January is 30 days, February is 30 days. Well, really it's less than that, but we're just gonna make believe. And then, so it's January, February, March. So by the end of March, you need to make a $10 deposit. And part of that, I guess, is because they do have expenses, and they're saying, if you're really gonna use this, and this is the right time for you to open this, then you should at least be putting in $10. So that's pretty reasonable. The account administrator can request a check. All checks will be made payable to the administrator. Okay. The account administrator can request a check, and all checks will be made payable to the administrator. Okay. Can you change the current account owner to someone else? The account owner may be changed, but only if the substitute account owner is a brother or sister of the original account owner. Okay. Only 2 withdrawals can be made per month. That's interesting. I don't believe I've seen that limit before. Withdrawals. And I just noticed something here that I have to check in general with the ABLE accounts. can an ABLE account be used as a checking account, right? So you want to make a payment to a tutor or to college or to or to Disney, right? Because you're going to Disney. Is the check made out to Disney, or is a check made out to the individual with special needs, which is what they call the administrator, right? And that could be the reason why there could be a problem with SSI if you make the payments and you don't use the money up right away, right? Because if you're making the payment to yourself and you deposit it into a regular account that's not an ABLE account, and if the funds aren't used right away, it could create an issue with your asset limits that you have for certain government benefits. So I wonder if this is only Louisiana or if this is a standard and I, for some reason, missed this. And if it's so, I really need to update that. So I'm going to be reaching out to my buddies all around to see, reach out to some of the administrators and some of the my colleagues in this area just to make sure. And that may be the reason why you're only allowed to make 2 withdrawals, because maybe they don't want you, making out 100 checks to individuals. But that wasn't my impression. So I'm going to make an assumption right now, even though we don't like making assumptions, that this is a Louisiana thing. What is the minimum amount of withdrawal can be requested for? A minimum amount of $200 or more may be requested and must be in whole dollar increments and may be no more than the available account balance. Okay, I guess what that means is if I have $50 in this account, I can't make a withdrawal of $10. I can't make a withdrawal of $50. I can't make a withdrawal at all. I have to check this out. Okay, so there are 2 things I'm checking out, and I have to get back to everybody. 1 is the minimum, and 2 is who is the check made out to, and how many times. So really 3 questions: and how many checks can you request, or withdrawals can you request, which is the way they say. What form of deposit can be made? Automatic bank deposits from checking or savings accounts, or direct payment. We know that. Can a payroll deposit? No, only direct payments or automatic payments from your checking and savings accounts. Okay. Okay, so it was a pretty productive group of questions. Okay. Let's just check something out. Okay. For some reason, it wasn't clear if this program is only for Louisiana residents. I apologize, but to me, it wasn't so clear. So maybe you guys noticed something that I didn't notice, but let's see what happens. Okay, so we went through the questions. Did we do deposits? We did deposits and investment options. Okay, and let's go to resources. So we should know about Advocacy Center in Louisiana. Okay, families, helping families, Governor's Office. These are Louisiana. These are statewide Louisiana programs and resources. That is beautiful. I haven't seen that too often. I like that, right? If I'm here and I want to know more, and for some reason I may have missed some of this, I didn't realize that there was a group called Families Helping Families. That rocks. In fact, I'm going to save this because I want to check it out a little later myself. Okay, and here's the mail. Okay, let's go back up to the top. So we know who's eligible. We know what this plan is about. Deposit and investment options. Keep clicking that. Yeah. Okay, making sure it's not different. Okay, let's go to the. Am I missing anything else here? Resources, no, we just looked at that. Forms, let's go to forms. So you have the disclosure statement, application, account, update, investment section, disbursement, and ACH. Okay, let's go to the disclosure statement. I'm just curious about that. Whoa. Okay. Just see what's going on here. Okay, the program disclosure account must be opened by an individual who has the legal capacity and authority to act on behalf of another. Could also be the individual, him or herself. Right, for the purpose of LA Able account, this person is the account administrator. So that's the language that we saw before about the administrator, right? OMG. Just realized something that wasn't so good. Okay. Who is eligible? I just want to see if there's something that individuals out of the state of Louisiana can participate in. Again, I'm going through this when you're going through this. And part of my doing this is so that you'll get the experience that I'm going through because I'm not so polished. This is not polished. I'm doing this on purpose. And it could be that I missed it, and it could be it was here. I just didn't see it. To allow eligible, okay. Okay, okay, I still haven't seen it, but again, it may be my own personal issue. Deposits and investments, obligations, as again, okay, opening up again. No one was able to a prospective account administrator must complete an LA Able account program account application. Okay, okay, what is your subject? So we're going to look at the application. I guess that's another way to do it. Who may open this? Okay. Louisiana Able accounts are available to eligible U.S. citizens and legal residents of the state of Louisiana. Okay. For some reason, language keeps getting me. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm overthinking this, right? Maybe opened by or on behalf of an eligible individual who is a Louisiana citizen. LA Able account may be opened by or on behalf of an eligible individual who is a Louisiana citizen and meets the following citizenship requirement. Okay, so here this is a little more clear. Here it basically reads available to U.S. citizens, and so you need to have both, right? It doesn't say available to, in addition to legal residents of Louisiana, you know, you need to be a U.S. citizen. But it seems the LA Able account may be opened by an individual who is a Louisiana citizen, and you need to be a U.S. citizen, okay, and have a social. Who is not eligible individual required to provide documentation. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay, wow. There's a maximum account value. This is the highest I've seen so far. There may be higher, but to date, I think this is the highest one that I've seen yet. $500,000 is the limit here of the balance. Wow. Okay, LA Able accounts may be opened by or on behalf of an eligible individual who's a Louisiana citizen and meets the following criteria. All right, I'm sorry, folks. Not sure why, but that one is getting me. Okay, so those are the forms, and it's a good idea to check out disclosure forms in general. They really give you some basic information regarding regarding this plan, and in general, you should really check things out like that. Do one last attempt. What state are you from? Okay, please let me. Okay. So it seems from this that the application process is in fact only hard copy. You need to fill this out, download it, fill it out, and then send it into the plan administrators. Send it into the state ABLE program. All right, so this was, we're going to try to enroll now, even though we're not going to enroll. I have a, oh, you can do this online. What is going on here? Okay, the account administrator is either the account owner. Yeah, I wish I wanted to click through the first one just because I wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like, but I don't think it's appropriate to even make up any numbers and go ahead. It's not appropriate, and I really think it's a problem when people try to do that. Okay, so let's just look at contact us. It's a good way to reach out to them if you have questions about their plans. And there's one other way that individuals use checks must be payable to LA ABLE account program and must include your account number and deposit slip. So wanted to mention this in general. It's maybe a good idea. Some people have found success sending out notices twice a year, a month before the individual's birth date and a month before the holidays. Just informing close friends and family members, if you wanted to, just a suggestion, we have this account, it helps so-and-so, with their savings, as long as we keep it to under $100,000, the individual's benefits are not compromised, and you're not asking them to contribute, but just making them aware that this is a way that they can gift somebody. It goes a long way because some people just need to know what and how to do it. So send them a note and include the address, for this mail deposit, the account number, and the administrator's, the account holder's name, so that they can put that on the check and send something in on behalf of the individual with special needs. Okay, so that is us. Thank you for joining us today. Been a pleasure to walk you through this Louisiana ABLE account website. Check us out at specialneedslifeplanning.com. Again, if you wanted to check out our webinar, you can click the link below and check that out. Please feel free to like this, subscribe to our channel, and share this with other individuals. Share our resource in general with other organizations and other family members or individuals that could benefit. Thanks so much, and till the next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It means a lot that you've spent the time with us. Just wanted to ask you if you could to please subscribe to our channel. It does help us. It means a lot to us. And if you are watching this on the blog, you wouldn't be able to subscribe, but you would be able to put in your email address and join the ABLE Report community. That means when we come out with information, when we come out with our ABLE reports, you would receive it. So please enter your email address if this is on the blog, or click subscribe on right below this video. Thanks so much. Until next time.